Some PAP members such as Lim Chin Siong and Fong Swee Suan opposed the proposed merger. Why? They felt that the terms of the proposed merger would disadvantage Singapore, namely that the people in Singapore would not be able to enjoy the same rights as those in Malaya. Therefore, in response to this, they decided to split from the PAP to form another party known as Barisan Socialists. Thus, you see that there were now two groups of politicians in Singapore: the radicals pro-communist Barisan Socialists as well as the moderates PAP. Both parties sought to win the support of the people for their respective proposals on the merger. All this came to a head when a referendum was called on 1st September 1962. What is a referendum? It is when the people are allowed to vote in order to decide on a particular issue, and in this case, a referendum was called for the people of Singapore to decide if they wanted a merger with Malaya. How do you think the people voted? Well, a resounding 71% majority supported the type of merger proposed, and with these results, the merger was confirmed and we could now move forward to put the merger in action. You may be wondering what happened to Barisan Socialists. Well, the party was weakened when the Internal Security Council launched an island-wide arrest of those believed to be under communist influence, and key Barisan Socialist leaders were arrested. At the same time, the party suffered greater defeat when they lost in the 1963 September elections. Besides internal opposition to merger, there was also external opposition to merger from Indonesia and Philippines. The Philippines refused to recognize Malaysia as it claimed that Sabah belonged to them. They broke off diplomatic relations with Malaysia in 1963 as a result. At the same time, Indonesia refused to recognize the new federation as they believed that the British colonial power would continue to control Malaysia directly. Not only did Indonesia break off diplomatic and trade relations with Malaysia as a sign of protest, they also launched a policy of confrontasi. At the end of the day, a final decision was made, and on 16 September 1963, Singapore entered the Federation of Malaysia based on a set of mutually agreed terms. As part of the economic terms of merger, a common market would be set up. Singapore would collect her own revenue and pay KL an agreed sum of money, and Singapore would provide a $150 million loan to help Sabah and Sarawak in their development. With merger, Singapore was no longer a British colony and was now part of the Federation of Malaysia.